What's up everyone? We have the results of the veto competition plus the head of household's plans, and also some house guests are so sick of living with each other and they're not even trying to hide it. We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your live feed update. Right before we get started, if you are new around here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm here every single day breaking everything down about what's going on inside that crazy house. And let me tell you, for this season especially, it's one of those blink and you miss it moments. You can literally take a break for 5 minutes. You can go grab a coffee, go do your business in the bathroom, whatever you're going to do, and then you come back and then all of a sudden the target has switched. If you want to counteract that, hit the subscribe button. Every single day I'm going to tell you everything you need to know so that you can be a Big Brother expert. I'm also going to ask you all to hit the like button. It's that little thumbs up down there. It takes all of 0.2 seconds just to click the little thing, and every single one helps me immensely as a smaller content creator. And one more thing, I do put a lot of time and effort into these videos, so if you feel like buying me a coffee or supporting me in any way, shape or form, please consider leaving a super thanks below or hitting up my PayPal link in the description. But without further ado, let's get to the update. Question of the day now, folks, and this is a question that everybody can answer. I am genuinely curious to see which one comes up the most. What's your favourite Big Brother season, folks? I genuinely want to know. I'm already in my head thinking the ones that are going to come up the most. I think a lot of people are going to say 7, a lot of people say 8, 10, 16, 20, 25. They're the ones I'm predicting. Yeah. We'll see. What's your favourite Big Brother season, folks? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright gang, we are jumping right into the deep end with the veto ceremony. Again, I want to apologise to everybody for not being here yesterday. Yeah, if you saw my post, or if you missed the post, I'll explain things now for not being here yesterday. So, lovely Sam, who you all know and love on this channel, came down with an ear infection the other night, and then everything got said it was an ear infection, antibiotics prescribed, and then things kind of took a little bit of a turn for the worse and started hurting more. So we had to go back yesterday and figure all that out, and we were waiting quite a while for that one. And yeah, we just wanted to be focused on making sure Sam's on the mend, Sam's feeling better. We saw all the lovely comments that you all sent in, and I and Sam, thank you so much. But yeah, while Sam's on the mend, I'm back to deliver a live feed update. Sam's in the background right now, folks, and I'll show any comments y'all send my way. But yeah, that's very kind to know how supportive and lovely y'all and understanding y'all were about the incident yesterday. So folks, we are back to business right now. And veto, let's talk about that. Of course, the nominees, Mickey, Morgan and Vince, and the head of household, Keanu, played, and the two people picked to play alongside those were Kelly and Lauren. It's an important note that it was house guest choice for one of those, and it was Keanu. He picked Kelly to play. But in the large scope of things, it didn't really matter because, folks, the winner of the Power of Veto this week, it's one of the nominees. A massive congratulations to Morgan. Well done, Morgan, getting her first veto win this season. Off the top of my head, this is Morgan's first comp win. Holy guacamole. Well done, Morgan. Very well done there. She, of course, I don't want to say of course because we, of course, have a lot of wild players who wouldn't necessarily think straight, but Morgan will be using the Power of Veto on herself at the veto ceremony that's coming up. But the question that's on everybody's lips is, what is Keanu going to do as the replacement nominee? Several names have been thrown out, several plans have been hatched, but who is he going to settle on? We're going to talk about that very soon. Now, while Morgan did win the Power of Veto, she also won another thing, Vince's affection. Oh, I'm feeling messy today. Yeah, I did that. Those two, it's uncomfortable, but also I feel like we're watching a Big Brother gets called a social experiment. That's what we're watching right now. It is the legitimate social experiment watching play out of what happens when you put 16 or 17, in this case, strangers into a house, and it feels more like Big Brother UK is what I'm watching with Morgan and Vince, because it's less about the game in the UK and more about the social experiment of just seeing how all these personalities mesh and how they start arguing with each other, how they start sleeping with one another, how they start becoming friends. That's the social experiment there, because in the UK, people don't really think too much about it. Everyone, stifles arguments in the US in this day and age because it doesn't get you anywhere. Whereas in the UK, if there's an argument, it's going to happen because people aren't afraid to do that. It's public vote rather than the rest of the house voting. So if you're arguing, they're probably going to keep you in. And several showmances have formed in the UK over the years, and some have formed from even when a person's gone into the house being in a relationship or having been, married or whatever, all these things. And then that's the social experiment that plays out. It's, it's Joe from, Kentucky Joe, I don't know, Joe from Kentucky who is, he's got a girlfriend back home of however many years. And then they meet Deborah from Idaho. I'm not saying, well, maybe they can go and, buy a farm together or something like that. I feel like I picked right slap bang in the Midwest there. But I don't know. It's the point is, it's one person from this part of the country and one person from this side. They get thrown together and all of a sudden they're affectionate towards one another despite their pre-existing relationships outside the house. And Morgan's sleeping in the bed at one point and Vince is sat in the bed with her. He's kind of sat upright, whereas Morgan's sleeping. So he's sat at where kind of her feet are. But anyway, and Vince reaches out and starts caressing her leg on top of the blanket. And Morgan seemed more than okay with it. Both of them having a great time there. Even though Vince has got a girlfriend back home. That's why everybody is talking about this. That's why everybody's glued onto it when it happens on the feeds, because it's a fascinating revelation of watching somebody who has a girlfriend of 7 years back at home get so cozy and comfortable with another house guest who was just affectionate for Zach and his toothbrush. Things are changing like that. And things don't seem to be slowing down with Vince and Morgan. And it seems like every single day I hop on here now, there is a new Vince and Morgan update. Vorgan, Mince, whatever you want to call them. But leg caressing, that's the latest installment of it. So that's all the Vince and Morgan updates for today. No, it's not. I've got another one for you, folks. They took the time to have another hug. I timed it last time. I believe it was 1 minute and 20 seconds, and I was just in disbelief that it kept going. This one, I once again timed because I was in shock at how long it was going on for. It didn't last 1 minute and 20 seconds, but I'm telling you, on the dot, it started and it finished a minute apart, exactly 60 seconds. They embraced each other for. I'm gonna hug you guys for, let's say, 30 seconds. I'm watching the timer on the thing right now, and we're gonna see how uncomfortable and awkward silence that is, and then we're gonna imagine doubling that and turn it into a minute. So watch this. I'm gonna wait for the camera to turn to a zero, so then I can start a 30-second hug, and we're just gonna sit in silence for that long. Are you ready for this, gang? Okay, 3, 2, 1. And that was only halfway. That was 30 seconds. 30 seconds, gang. Imagine doubling that. That's a normal hug you share with a friend, Just a normal, affectionate friend hug. Yeah, something like that. It's another segment of Worst Game Move of the Week, and Mickey said in a conversation, it was unbelievable. Luckily, she didn't win the power of veto, but she said if she did get this, gang, she would have kept the nominees the same. Because that would make the most sense right now. Where is the sense? What sense? That doesn't sound like sense. It makes the most sense. What kind of sense? Is it sense from another planet that we don't understand? I'm clocking out. I'm going to look for some sense. I'll be back soon. Now, I've got a very couple of interesting updates from Ava today. First one is just a personal one I wanted to mention. Ava made Squid Game cookies because she's obviously on slop, and it's actually one of the things you can make, because when you're on slop, house guests, they get so creative with it, because back in the day it was just let's just have slop, but people try and make little biscuits out of it, cookies, or like pancakes or whatever, while using the very few seasonings that they're allowed. But if anybody's seen Squid Game, they have these, they're called Dalgona. That's one of the games, and they've got, I'm sure, even if you haven't seen Squid Game, I'm sure a lot of y'all will have seen, the little cookies, and they've got the umbrella in them and the star and the circle. So Ava's obviously a Squid Game fan there, which I love because I love that show. Squid Game is fantastic. So that was just a little personal update I wanted to bring up. She tried to do that with Slop. Very creative, extra points to her. But in terms of the game, she is absolutely sick of being around Mickey. As I would be, as I think a lot of you guys would be, because she never has anything nice or positive to say about anybody. Those kind of people are, I think, what a lot of people call energy vampires, and it's difficult to be around them. I think a lot of us have experienced energy vampires in our lifetime, and if you have, just like I have, I'm sure we can look at each other in the eyes right now and just say, I get it. I've been there. I understand. I get it. And there's not much more that needs to be said. She is one of those, and Ava completely feels that way as well. She said in a conversation with Will, Will's not, he's working with Mickey to a capacity, but not to a capacity where it's like they're going to ride or die for one another. And she says to Will, I know you love Mickey, but, I'm voting her out the house because if it's Vinny and Mickey, I don't give a F-bomb. Yeah. There you go, folks. I don't even... Mickey's not. Ava's not messing around there, and I even heard her say she wants Mickey to go this week because she doesn't even want to fathom the idea of being in the jury house with her. That says a lot about somebody on a personal and social level, doesn't it, and their social game? Because if you actively want to vote somebody out just so you don't have to sit in jury with them, it's got to be pretty bad, right? And I'm not surprised because I feel like there's been a lot of that sentiment about Mickey, and it breaks me up because I remember seeing her intro package and she was my favorite in the preseason. I picked her. She was like, I'm riding or dying with Mickey. But then all of a sudden it's just like this, everything just started kind of flowing out. There's the argument of, did Mickey change or did Mickey just start to show her true colors? And I feel like it's kind of that. She's kind of she's a miserable person who talks about people's family and when she doesn't get her way, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I completely understand why Ava doesn't want her to be in the jury house. Now, a very almost poignant and epic moment in the day, or later in the night actually, was Rachel Riley. She lost her wedding ring in the pool in the backyard. A lot of us who are wearing these bad boys, we know how much they mean to us and how we hold them very near and dear and close to our hearts and fingers. But unfortunately, it fell off Rachel's finger into the pool. So then Rachel, in almost this epic fashion for love, she dives into the pool right to the bottom and goes hunting for the ring to try and find it. And we got Will on the sidelines, and we know Will. He does a lot of podcasting and broadcasting, doing commentating. I believe it's on. Is it women's netball, women's softball? It's some kind of whatever it is. He's used to doing play-by-play commentary, so he starts doing play-by-play commentary on Rachel's dive into the pool and trying to find the ring, and he's looking at the camera and really entertaining the feedsters. And then Rachel comes up with the ring, and Ashley says, "Brenchel Army rise," because Brenchel and Brendan and Rachel, obviously them two together. And Rachel comes out triumphantly with the ring. It was a cool moment in the day, and if you love, it was one of those great moments. Now, with Morgan obviously coming down off the block very, very soon with her power of veto, Keanu is going to have to decide who to put up as replacement nominee. I'll tell you what, folks, 3 names have been thrown out. Of course, it's Keanu. There's never 1 or 2. It has to be. The number has to keep ticking up. These are the 3 that have been mentioned. Lauren's been mentioned. Rachel has been mentioned, and also Ashley. It has kind of bounced around like a pinball. I would say Rachel got the least amount of traction because I feel like Keanu entertained the idea for a second because, come on, it wouldn't be a Keanu week if he didn't. But I feel like Keanu set out to do something this week. He wanted to take this head of household reign to regain trust with Rachel because he realised how much he butchered Rachel's trust and threw it under the bus when she's actually been coming to him with the truth and telling him everything he needs to know. He had that epiphany moment, and that's why he's kind of wanting to build that trust back up with Rachel. With Vince, on the other hand, though, I feel like he has completely gone in the other direction. It's kind of been the old switcheroo, and Vince is kind of feeling like Vince, obviously we talked about how he went into victim mode. I know he appeared on the podcast the other day with a very, very great reenactment of his moment. It was. I'm going to compliment Vince. Vince did a fantastic job on the podcast the other day. I just thought he did an amazing job. So well done him. But I was definitely seeing the switcheroo, like I talked about, whereas Vince is kind of being pushed away, Rachel's being pulled back in. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be Rachel unless something drastic happens over the next 24 hours. Lauren, on the other hand, was being pushed a lot. We know Lauren, of course, isn't playing for anyone but Vince. I thought I was going to say herself there. No, she's playing for Vince, and I even feel like at certain points Vince was throwing her under the bus and trying to encourage that name slightly, and that goes to show how dumb Lauren is in this game. Lovely person, lovely persona, but on a game level, dumb as a bag of rocks. I just couldn't believe it, and I saw it coming from a mile away, even though I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that it got to this point, that Lauren allowed it to get to this point, and I'm watching Vince subtly throw Lauren's name under the bus, and I'm just thinking to myself, Lauren, why? Like, why? You're a super fan. You're supposed to get this game, and you're just playing for one dude who's kind of running circles. You say that your favourites are the likes of Janelle and Rachel. Those two are the pioneers of going against the numbers and doing what they want to. And Lauren is playing more of a... Here we go. I'm going to make an anecdote. This is when it gets good. Tom's anecdote. I think that Vince is a bit of a Nicole Franzel. Why, you ask? Let me explain myself. Nicole Franzel, you know, in the game, she's a great player. She's a fantastic player, just as the same as Vince has been doing. But I don't necessarily respect Nicole Franzel's style of play, and I'm going to tell you why. You know, and I'm open to hearing what anybody else has to say about this, you know, just as long as people are nice about it. I immediately don't listen to anybody who's like, rah, rah, rah. But I always respect people who have a difference of opinion when they come into my comment section, and are respectful about it, because I believe that's the best way of communication. But Nicole Franzel, she targeted women the entire time, or she would throw all the other women under the bus. But even if she didn't, and it was a guy, it would be a case of she would make the move, and then she would cry. And then she would cry some more, and cry a bit more. And then on top of that, she would add a sprinkle of crying. And then you put a bit of crying on the top and serve it up with some crying on the side. That's what Nicole Franzel would do. And she would play victim the entire time. And it worked. It worked because all the other men in the house came to rush to her side and kind of mollycoddle her. And then she would get to the end and cut all their throats. Fantastic. Really great gameplay. But what I would respect more out of Nicole is if she turned around and said, that was my gameplay. I did that with my chest. But she doesn't. She plays victim, and I don't like that. If she said that was if she actively went out of her way to say that was her strategy, I'd be like, yeah, I'd be up there saying she's one of the best players of all time. I mean, she of course is statistically, but personally, no, because of that's the way she goes on a personal level. But I would love it if she owned it. But she doesn't. She just plays victim and cries, and it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I think Lauren actually prefers those kind of players because that's what she's playing like. And Vince plays like that, and she follows Nicole Franzel. So it's very odd to me that she says she likes the Janelles and Rachels, but she's following the Nicole Franzels of life. It's almost backwards. But like I said, with the old switcheroo with this cast, everything seems backwards. So yeah, I do think Vince is another Nicole Franzel, which is why he can win the game. Nicole is a very good player, but it doesn't mean I respect the style of play, or it doesn't mean I love it, because I would love it if somebody emotionally manipulated somebody into a way where it was like what Nicole Franzel did. She does. She emotionally manipulates people by playing victim in the same way that Vince does it. But the fact she doesn't own it, that's what gets me. But if she did, I'd be singing her praises all the way to the bank. As the day went on, I do feel like the target shifted a little bit, or the target of the replacement nominee shifted from Lauren over to Ashley. So I feel like right now, as I'm delivering you this update, again, by the time this uploads, it could have changed. But as of right now, I do believe Ashley is the person who is going to hit the block more than anyone. It's been a minute since Ashley's been on the block. I've got to commend her for that, because I didn't think there was any coming back from Showergate. But here we are, 2 months later. It's pretty impressive. So well done. Very well done there to, almost 2 months later, very well done there to Ashley. But again, she could be hitting the block this week, and hitting the block means you could be leaving. Because what I've noticed something with the Blockbuster is, even if you put somebody on the block, or you plan to, as a pawn, by the end of the night or by the end of the week from the Blockbuster, it's changed, you know. So it's not safe to hit the block as a pawn anymore. It never was, but I feel like even more now, being a pawn and volunteering to be a pawn is so much more dangerous. But she didn't volunteer. It's just kind of where Keanu's drifting right now. And I do feel like if Ashley won head of household, she would put Keanu up as well. That's just my gut there. I've been saying that for weeks because I think Ashley would want to go for Vince, and maybe she would since the numbers have dwindled down now. But I think Keanu or Kelly would be the kicker for her, and it's dangerous to do that. It's dangerous to let those people be on the block. I feel like Blockbuster now has started to breed. You need to focus on making gung-ho decisions because they pay off more, especially when it comes to the jury as well. But yeah, Ashley could likely be hitting the block when Morgan comes off, leaving the nominees for the week as Mickey, Ashley and Vince for Blockbuster on Thursday night. So yes, definitely lots to watch out for over the next 24 hours. Keep an eye out, folks. But right now, it's looking like it's going to be Ashley. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's been having a great Labour Day long weekend. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know how you're doing. I would love to hear from you all. And speaking of loving to hear from you all, you could actually send me some physical mail. The address on screen right now is the address of my P.O. box. I opened it for the first time this summer, guys, because I'm in America for the first time doing my live feed updates. And, I don't want to waste this opportunity. I would love to hear from you all. Postcards galore have been sent. We're going to do a checklist of how many we get from each state, and I'm so freaking excited for you all to see the video. And we got a bunch of packages that came through as well, and so the first mail video is coming very, very soon. And what I will say as well is, don't worry, because I know people have still sent stuff that didn't get there in time for this video. I'm going to be opening it up in the second half of the season for the second mail video that will release at the end of the season. So I'm splitting it up into two. So folks, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get a postcard from your state, your hometown, to be a part of the postcard wall that we're going to build. And I'm just so appreciative of all the ones that have been sent. And let's keep the good times rolling. We'd love to get a package or a postcard off you guys. We'd love to hear from you with the address on screen right now. I've got some super thanks before we close things out, so I'm going to say hi to the wonderful people who've sent stuff in. We got quite a few today, so I'm going to try my best to get through these. All right, so first up, we got Jess is a mess. Again, always love that name. A+ for effort on this video, Tom. You've outdone yourself. Why, thank you, Jess. You are certainly not a mess. I appreciate you, Jess. Have a great one, my friend. Next up, we've got Amorning. I'm going to say Amorning. It's double M. Amorning. And they say, thanks, love the song. Thank you. I appreciate you, Amorning. Have an amazing day, my love. Have a great one. Sending you a big hug. Next up, we've got Julie Mumar. Thank you so much, Julie. I appreciate you. Julie says, thanks, Tom. You are wonderful. That's very sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Have a great one, my love. Thanks, Julie. Raven Picks is next. Raven's a long-time supporter. Raven says, thanks. That creepy song was the best. I saw a lot of people like that. I was pretty proud of that one. I have so much fun bringing out these old bangers, as I like to call them, these old classics, and putting them to the forefront of a live feed update. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Raven. I appreciate you. Gratitude Attitude, another name that I love, says thanks. Thank you, Gratitude Attitude. I'm sending gratitude and good attitude back at you. Thank you so much. Next up is the wonderful Nicola Blanton. Thank you so much, Nicola. That's very kind, very sweet, very generous. Super thanks. I appreciate you, Nicola. Have an amazing day, my darling. Thank you ever so much. Next up, the great Angela G. And Angela G says, thanks. Love the song. You have a gift. God bless you. Thank you so much. God bless you, Angela. I appreciate you ever so much. That's very, very kind. I have a lot of fun doing those the lyric songs, the party songs. I blow my own mind sometimes at the fact I can come up with those, and it's something I'm pretty proud of, if I'm not going to lie. I'm like, okay, Tom, because I set out and I pick a song, and you have to start from scratch and thinking, what words am I going to do that rhyme? How am I going to make this funny? Because anyone can put words together, but I have to make it funny. And I blow my own mind sometimes how I do it. So I am pretty proud of myself, and I'll say that confidently. So thank you so much, Angela. It's very, very sweet that you would say that, and that's very, very reassuring. So thank you, Angela. That's very kind. Next up, we've got the wonderful Dada, and Dada says, that song deserved something. Yeah, it did. Thanks so much, Dada. I appreciate you. Have an amazing day, my friend. Next up, we've got Paris Bernhard. I love the name Paris. That's wonderful. And Paris says, thanks. Thank you, Paris. I appreciate you. Have an amazing day, my love. Have a great one, and I hope you're enjoying this. I hope it's sunny where you are. For at least for me and Sam, this sunny Labour Day weekend. Next up is Kristen. Thank you so much, Kristen. Very generous. I appreciate you. And Kristen says, Mariah, Tom, Carey. Oh, please stop. Oh, there's roses. Let me just catch that. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's very kind, Kristen. Mariah, Tom, Carey. I'll stick with that name, and I'm going to change my government documents to Mariah, middle name Tom, surname Carey. Has to be done. You know, Kristen said it. Thanks so much, Kristen. I appreciate you. Next up, we got David Cushmore. David Cushmore's. I'm going to throw it on screen right now because it's pretty long. Thank you so much, David Cushmore. Pause right now if you want to read David Cushmore's. Oh, so it seems like David wants Vince to win the blockbuster. I think he could do it. I also think Mickey is seasoned now at winning comps when she needs to. My money's on Mickey this week for the blockbuster, but we're going to see. Thank you so much, David. It's Clash in Paris tonight. Hope you're looking forward to that one. I hope you enjoy me and Sam are. Thank you so much, David Kushma. I appreciate you. And then last, but no, I'm wrong. I'm not. I just didn't scroll enough. Barbara Phillips is next up. Thank you so much, Barbara Phillips. I appreciate you. Have an amazing day, Barbara. I've always loved the name Barbara. It's lovely. Thank you so much, Barbara. Next up, Kathleen Branham. Kathleen Branham says, yes, I love the intros, the song intros. You really pick some bangers and make it so relatable to BB. Now, if we can get Vince evicted before jury, that would be chef's kiss. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Kathleen. I don't know. This could be it. I think this is the last jury member this week. I know people were throwing it around last week thinking we might get an 8-person jury, but no, I mean, I think because it's a 17-person house. I was convinced maybe for a second it could be, but yeah, I think this is looking more likely now that whoever goes this week could be the last person before the jury, and it could be Vince. It really could, because he's going to be on the block come eviction night and will have to fight for his life in the blockbuster. Thank you so much, Kathleen. And Dress Up Club says, sending Sam love. Thank you so much, Dress Up Club. It's great to see you back again. I know you were so supportive last year. I'll always appreciate you ever so much, Dress Up Club. Sending Sam love. Tom, thanks for the update. It was the best. And a song and a special guest. Yeah, it was very kind of Vince to stop by. Hysterical. Keep up the good work. Will you be watching Traitors this fall? Yes. I'm very excited for Traitors. I'm spoiled for choice, you know, because coming from the UK, I'm interested in the UK Traitors as well as the US Traitors. There's just so much to offer. Sam and I have been watching a bit of Survivor, you know, in our downtime recently, because Sam hasn't seen a lot of the seasons of Survivor. So we just got to Winners at War. Mind has been blown for Sam. I love that season. I was mind blown when it came out in the first place. So yeah, really enjoying that one right now. And I know there's a lot of people from Survivor who end up on the Traitors. So there's definitely some crossover there that I'm really loving. So yes, I will be watching Traitors. Thank you so much, Dress Up Club. I appreciate you. And then last but certainly not least, a very generous one from the wonderful Marie Carnley. Marie, always a bright light on this channel. I appreciate you, my love. Have an amazing day. And I hope you're enjoying this Labor Day weekend. Have a great one, my love. But folks, that's all we got time for. I hope that you're all doing all right out there. I just want to take a moment to say I'm proud of you, whatever you're going through right now. Very, very proud of you, and you're doing great. Hang in there. If things aren't so great right now, that's okay too. Sometimes the worst parts come before the best, and it's all right. It's all right, and I'm very, very just imagine I'm a friend right now. I'm very proud of you. Hang in there. You got this, and try and keep a smile on your face. And if you can't, that's all right too. But I hope that you're all staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there. And remember to be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that wonderful stuff. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.